I'm gonna be honest here. This is gonna be just truthfully honest. I feel like this is more of Ghost and Advanced Warfare than Modern Warfare. What's up, everyone? Xtra Father here. We're doing a little reaction to Nero's Cinema. This is his Modern Warfare 2 sucks. Worst Call of Duty ever. An in-depth review. Let's get right into the video.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Modern Warfare 2 beta. Feedback's been pretty mixed so far, I'm not gonna lie. I'm seeing some people really enjoying the game. I'm seeing a lot more complaints online as well, but as human beings, we tend to point out the negatives as compared to focusing on the positives.
It's true.
Let's talk about some of those negatives, because there's definitely a lot to go over here in the beta. So many issues, so many design flaws, so many map flaws, as you guys were seeing.
I can agree with the maps. I don't really like the maps at all.
Right here, yes indeed, wall breaches are in fact in the beta. Why they don't hire proper quality assurance for this stuff, I don't know. If you know, people can find this within like 1 day of the beta being out. Like, how can't like these paid professionals?
Okay, now this kind of stuff has actually happened. I didn't record it, but I played a few games without recording. This has happened. The outside borders will start blinking like really fast, and it's really rather nerve-wracking.
Professionals figured out, oh yeah, it's because they don't pay anyone to actually do quality assurance anymore. That's why they had to freaking start up a union, for crying out loud. But yeah, wall breaches are definitely there. That's a big problem. Skill-based matchmaking in a beta. Disbanding lobbies are back. We knew skill-based matchmaking was going to be a thing. It's like Activision's bread and butter. They'll never discuss it. They'll never acknowledge it. But for better or worse, it's going to be in the game. But
I don't see really the point in, like, why not put everybody into a game? Like, if somebody's destroying somebody, let it happen. I mean, you shouldn't have, like, that's how people get better at the game.
It does feel really bad that you have disbanding lobbies, right? Because they talked about during Call of Duty Next, the big reveal.
That's another thing. I hate disbanding lobbies. Just let me play the game over and over and over again without having to go back into the main menu, unless I want to go back into the main menu.
Of Modern Warfare 2. They talked about how they want to unite the COD community with all these unified systems in between Warzone and multiplayer and things like that. Well, how about you go ahead and unite the COD community by letting them play the game together, for crying out loud. Like, almost all of my online friends I met while playing Call of Duty Search and Destroy. It's so much fun when you're actually playing in the lobby and the same people are in the lobby. Sometimes they're on your team, sometimes they're on the other team. You go back and forth, you develop a connection, and you learn the playstyles of these people, and it makes the game more engaging and more fun. And we don't have that because skill-based matchmaking needs to make sure that little Timmy's having fun and that Big Jimmy is not. And that's ridiculous. It's so frustrating. Skill-based matchmaking in a beta, but then again, you know, it's been over 3 years. I'm used to it at this point, but the fact that it's in here is just disgusting, and it's making a lot of people pretty upset. What's making me more upset, I can deal with good players, right? I can. But what's making me more upset are the footsteps. Like, I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times, man.
Son of a bitch.
The footsteps are atrociously loud in this game. They need to be quieter. I don't know why Infinity Ward is taking such a hard stance on making sure everybody is an elephant. It's ridiculous. And I have clips.
Yeah, I have clips too, and it's actually on my YouTube. But you can't really hear the footsteps because I have the volume turned down so low so you can hear my voice instead of the gameplay. But the footsteps for enemies is so incredibly loud.
Clips here, like, if there was a proper private match in the beta, I would just have my friends jump into a private match with me and really give you a perfect example of how loud those footsteps are. But I think I found a couple of good examples. Just pay attention to my player here and just pay attention to the enemy player and our surroundings. And even if you have a headset on, even if you're listening to this on your phone, you're still gonna hear what I'm talking about, because that's how bad it is. I'm loading.
Yeah, they're everywhere. Footsteps are everywhere. They're so loud. How can you... Like, he's behind him. You can clearly hear them so close and so far away at the same time.
I think it's safe to say the footsteps are a bit too loud. Now, there's a number of ways they can go about this. They can make them quieter, sure, but I think most of us just want dead silence to not be a field upgrade and rather be a perk. I mean, there's people out there. Oh, I've seen it all, man. I'm a COD content creator, so I read all the comments on Twitter and Reddit and my own videos, and some of the stuff people say, like, if you have to have silent footsteps to get a kill, you're just bad. And it's like, well, if you have to hear everyone coming to get a kill, you're also bad. Like, that's not an argument, man. And they say they've adapted to the idea of the field upgrade for dead silence. You have to use it more tactically. Well, sure, it's tactical when you use it, and hopefully you can string together a number of kills and things like that to make sure you have it for a decent period of time. But when you don't have dead silence, it's horrible. It's ridiculously bad. You know what I mean? Like, bring it back as a default perk. I've heard people talk.
I don't understand why lightweight isn't, like, already in the game. Lightweight should be the bare minimum of footsteps. Am I thinking of that correctly? Is lightweight where you have lighter footsteps and you're a little quieter?
Talking about maybe making dead silence an ultimate perk. I don't think that would really work that well. I really don't. It doesn't fix game modes like search and destroy, and having it be a perk that you earn 8 minutes into the game, maybe 4 or 5 minutes if you're really popping off, it's not going to help you all that much. Like, people are already upset about Ghost being an ultimate perk because, well, one, Ghost is kind of OP in this game because it makes it so you're hidden from the UAV even if you're just standing still, which is frustrating. They figured that out years and years and years ago, that it's a lot better when Ghost only works while you're moving, therefore people don't just hide in buildings, but with how loud the footsteps are, they kind of want you to be hiding in buildings. So Ghost is already a situation where people are upset about it because, one, it's really powerful, but two, if you're a solo player, if you're somebody that doesn't really play with a group or anything like that, you join the game late or anything, you have a really bad team and you're kind of getting spawn trapped and stuff like that, and that UAV spam starts, there's no way to counter it. There's no way to counter it, man. You're sitting there just being spammed to death by UAVs. Everyone knows where you are. They can hear you coming. They can see you on the minimap, and there's no counter to it. The same way there's no.
I want to say as well, you see how he was aiming at his own teammate there? Because he didn't see the fucking name on top. The name is so small that I've had numerous times, and it's actually in one of my videos, that I shoot at teammates thinking they're enemies because I don't know what the fuck I'm, like, supposed to be looking at. Everyone's wearing, like, their own kind of customization, and it's very hard to tell who is who.
Counter the footsteps. So people are calling for Ghost to become like a normal mainstay perk, but, you know, they talk about like, well, that would just be a crutch perk. Everyone would use it. And the same is true of Dead Silence. It would just be a crutch perk. But people are forgetting that Dead Silence wasn't dead silent. Like, you could still hear people with Ninja, people with Dead Silence or whatever. It made your footsteps quieter, but you weren't completely undetectable. Sure, in a very chaotic game of domination, if you're running around with Dead Silence, chances are they may not hear you coming because of all the gunfire, the explosions and things like that. But if you're talking about like search and destroy, you know, the bomb's planted, it's a 1v1, even if they have Dead Silence, if you have a headset, which virtually everyone even has like some freaking you know, earbuds in or something like that.
Nobody's really playing this game without sound. I mean, Call of Duty has gotten to the point to where everyone is so goddamn sweaty that you can't really play this game without your headphones on in some way, shape, or form, because you can't compete. I mean, the footsteps, the overall like call outs that your characters make and stuff like that, it's a necessity in order to win. So
it's not even there just to like sound whore and try to be better at COD. It's a courtesy to the other people in the house. You know what I mean? Did I have COD blaring on your TV at 2 o'clock in the morning? So most people have a headset, even just for common courtesy's sake. And those people, you can hear Dead Silence if you really pay attention and you learn it. There's a skill there to learning the sound of the footsteps and how the footsteps differ between when people are running or walking on wood, metal, steel, grass, anything, right? There's a skill there to be learned, but people forget about that because they keep making Dead Silence not a perk. Oh, it's ridiculous. So going back to Dead Silence being a perk would be fantastic. We're gonna have to see what they're gonna do with Ghost, because Ghost is pretty much the crutch perk right now that you basically have to run if you're a solo player. If you're running with a party of 6, maybe you don't need it, but Ghost is really good, especially in comparison to the other ultimate perks, and the UAV spam is ridiculous. And if you think it's only because it's a beta, no, man. UAVs, people love them. You know, there's a reason why Infinity Ward, of all people, tried to get rid of the UAV and call it the Ghost, because you want to talk about a crutch kill streak, everyone runs UAV. You know what I mean? So the balancing with the perks and the footsteps has been pretty ridiculous. People are not happy about the mini-map, myself included, because it's the new mini-map that doesn't actually show people that are firing unsuppressed weapons, which can be very frustrating. It's very frustrating because it's hard to see.
Yeah, I have a bone to pick with that, because I don't really like that. I mean, it's been in Call of Duty for so long, and to just take that out is kind of just fucking weird. Like, I don't really understand it. It's more of a strategy thing than just let me come kill you kind of thing. I don't really understand it.
See in this game, like, you won, like, number A, you're looking at these optical sights that you have, like, why is it so small? Like, it's so hard to see out of that damn thing, you know what I mean? Like, it's actually frustrating. Like, you put on a holographic sight back in the original Modern Warfare 2, and it's like, damn, I can see across the map. This actually is a benefit. I'm glad I have this attachment. You put holographic sight on in this game, you're like, what the shit am I looking at? It's confusing, it's difficult, and the optical sights themselves aren't very good. There's tons of muzzle flash, there's tons of recoil. Like, you can't really see people more than 10 feet away from you. And speaking of that, how about this clip from a guy named Some Dude, that's actually his name, on Reddit, which shows us that we have client-side smoke once again. This is the same issue that we had back in Modern Warfare 2019. For you, there's smoke. For them, there's no smoke. Guess who wins? Like, how frustrating is that?
Man, that sucks. That sucks. That should not be in the game, period.
And then on top of that, like, even if, like, he were to be able to see that guy a little bit through the smoke, there's no nameplates for your enemies. Why is that? You have a little blue dot for your teammates, but there's no nameplates for enemies? That's really odd as well. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me, and maybe they're doing it for more of a realistic sake, but, you know, even a game like Black Ops 4, which was not realistic at all, having health bars above their head even was cool. I liked it. I think a lot of other people did as well. So Infinity Ward is making a lot of very...
But this is what people have to understand. This is a beta. Yeah, this game comes out in a month, but you could do a lot with a game in a month. They're listening to all this feedback. It's gonna be changed. And if they don't change it, that's their own fucking fault. You know? So, it's not gonna be this game exactly. It's not. It's never been.
I call them controversial decisions right now. A lot of people are definitely very upset about some of the changes that they have made. Going into this, they were already upset that the game looks and feels similar to Modern Warfare 2019, which I don't necessarily agree with. I will say I am playing on a PS5, so
this literally feels like an arcade version of Modern Warfare. Just doesn't feel as complete, I want to say. It's just doesn't feel as complete as Modern Warfare.
It's a bit better than the PS4, but I did see a video from COD Ghost 619 comparing the PS4 to the PS5. It wasn't too bad. Like, the PS4 didn't look all that bad, honestly, but I can only imagine, like, the smoke and the muzzle flash and things like that. Like, those problems are going to be exacerbated, you know, on the PS4 compared to the PS5. But playing on the PS5, the game is gorgeous. The movement takes a little bit to get used to. Obviously, you have all the attachments, which can affect your sprint speed and your transition ADS speed and things like that. But the game feels good, and I think it looks beautiful on the PS5. I can't wait to see it on my PC whenever we can finally do that. But I think the game looks and feels good. I think that weapon balance is actually pretty solid. I don't mind the new perk system. I think it's weird and unnecessary, but, you know, the unlock system for new weapons is confusing as all hell, but it's also...
Yeah, that's another thing. The weapon customization, the leveling up of the weapons when you have to, like, use a specific type of the weapon to unlock another type of the weapon. It's very confusing. Why can't you just be simple? Like, in Modern Warfare, you level up the gun, you get attachments. In Vanguard, you level up the gun, you get attachments. It's just very confusing to have all this pushed into a game. It just doesn't feel right. It feels more like you're trying to push this It seems like you're trying to fill a quota of time played per person. And it just doesn't feel right. It feels like more of a grind than a game.
Kind of cool because you take the M4 platform, you level up your M4, you get a brand new gun. Level up that gun, you get a brand new gun. Level up the next gun, you get a brand new gun. Instead of just, leveling up, going, level 5, I get this gun. Level 8, I get this gun. Level 12, I get this gun. You get guns for actually using different guns. It encourages variety. And weapon, we don't know how it's going to be in the full game, but weapon XP is actually very fast here in the beta. It's very quick to level up your guns. So there are a lot of positives for sure, but let's face it, guys, we've been playing COD for a long time. It's hard to wow us with new mechanics and new things like that. Which, speaking of new mechanics, check this out right here, man. So this is coming in from Matty Pants on Reddit. He goes to jump inside this building. He's a bunny hopper, which I hate those guys, but he's a bunny hopper. And he automatically grabs onto the thing above him to start dangling, and he dies. Wow. That's funny. I actually have a clip of me sitting there dangling because I meant to jump over the wall and it had me dangling there for a second. I'm like, wait a minute, I forgot this was a feature. And so I just sat there for a while and got a couple of kills. It was pretty stupid. Some of the things
I don't understand why this is a new feature, honestly. It's really confusing as to why this is now in the game. I'm gonna be honest here. This is gonna be just truthfully honest. I feel like this is more of Ghost and Advanced Warfare than Modern Warfare. I feel like it's 2017 and it's 2022.
Things that they're coming up with in this game are just...
Does anyone else feel like that? Let me know down in the comments below.
Nonsensical, in my opinion. And obviously it is a beta, and you can say, and people will always defend that to the death. Oh, it's a beta, give them time. Dude, the game comes out next month. They have 30 days to get this game ready, but of course they're probably not going to do that because we live in the era where people can update the game remotely. Remember back in the day when you bought a game, it had to be good because there was no just online patches, there was no day one patch or things like that. Nowadays they're just push it out there, we'll get it fixed by Christmas or not. We'll be Sledgehammer Games and just take 8 vacations. Oh my goodness, remember that for Vanguard? But yeah, people are upset about this game so far. Some people are enjoying it. I'm pretty much right there in the middle. I find the game to be fun, but at the same time, we have 3 maps. One of the maps has a wall exploit, so I'm kind of afraid to play on that one. And when it comes to footsteps and things like that, it's pretty obnoxious at times.
This one's actually my favorite map, the farm map.
And also, there's not a whole lot of content in weekend 1 of the beta, and all my guns are leveled up, and I'm leveled up, so it's what else is there for me to do? I mean, they did add Search and Destroy. I kind of want to try it, but without dead silence and with how loud those footsteps are, I have a feeling it's going to be everyone running 10 feet out of their spawn, aiming down sights of the wall, and then just not moving, which is not exactly my favorite kind of gameplay, but we'll have to wait and see how it's going to play out, guys. But I want to make this video here today addressing some of the complaints that the community has towards Modern Warfare 2, and I would love to hear what you guys think down there in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for listening. Be sure to subscribe if you're new around here. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.
Love ya. Alright. So that was the video. He didn't go too much into why it sucks and that it's the worst Call of Duty ever. He said that he's enjoying playing it, so obviously it's not the worst Call of Duty ever. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Leave a like if you like the video. Subscribe for more content of Modern Warfare 2 when it comes out. It will be coming out the 28th. We'll be playing the campaign a little early. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.